Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Samsung A series is no doubt the most popular mid-range series. We do have budget phones that offers better phone for cheaper price, but Samsung One UI experience together with a gorgeous AMOLED screen and 5G connectivity, the 2021 lineup is hard to beat. They don't offer the best specs, sure, but they bring stability, great brand name, and familiarity of Samsung phones. Today we're reviewing the best value flagship A series with the flagship appeal. This is Samsung A52. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, my friend. Let's go! Let's start with the design. It's the smaller version of Samsung A72 5G and looking like the flagship Samsung S21 Ultra. It is handsome and durable phone. This phone flaunts a more refined design than its predecessors. The curvy and glossy look of Samsung A51 has been replaced with a flatter, boxier aesthetics that's reminiscing of the Samsung S21. I heard that here in United States and Canada, the Galaxy A52 5G is only available in semi-black finish that looks good but quickly accumulates fingerprints and smudges. The grayish back has a small faded Samsung logo and an even smaller regulatory information printed at the bottom. A large camera array occupies the top left corner. Next is build quality. Compared to other phones on this price category, Samsung A52 5G wins on durability. It is water resistant and has IP67 rating. Its plastic back should handle minor drops and dings without a problem. Good thing about the plastic back is you don't have to worry about cracks as it can survive lethal beating. The Gorilla Glass 5 can cope with some wear and tear and can escape some mild surface scratching without a screen protector, but I won't put a screen protector because it messes up with the fingerprint sensor. The display is one of its strongest features. You get a bright and colorful 6.5-inch AMOLED screen with a smoother 120Hz refresh rate, a rare feature in a phone that doesn't carry a flagship price. The downside with the display is that the refresh rate is static with an option of 120Hz and 60Hz only. A dynamic system like what you get from an S21 family means you can save battery life while offering its max refresh rate when it's needed. In contrast, the Samsung A52 5G approach requires you to pick between the high refresh rate and the regular 60Hz that impacts the battery life significantly. The colors of this AMOLED panel is bright and vivid, and the brightest can reach 700 nits, which is impressive. The performance of this phone is nothing out of ordinary, but is sufficient for an average Joe. This phone is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 750 5G processor, which is an octa-core chipset clock at 2.2 GHz. As for performance output, the Galaxy A52 is a significant step up over its predecessors. In the Geekbench 5 single-core CPU benchmark, the Galaxy A52 almost doubled the performance of last year's Galaxy A51. In terms of gaming, it will mostly run to medium to high settings depending on the game. It averaged a frame rate of 45 FPS in the GFX Bench Manhattan 3 on-screen test. But one of the stronger points of this phone aside from the screen is the battery. It has 4500 mAh battery that can easily last me a day of use. On my day-to-day test, it will have a screen on time of 7 to 8 hours, which is really impressive. It has a fast charging capability of 25 watts, which in real-life test can get me 50% in 30 minutes. GSM Arena scored this phone 111 hours on their own test, which is pretty good. For the audio, the headphone jack is still present on A52 5G, which is great for anyone who's still holding on to their wired earphones. That also helps emphasize the stereo speaker on Samsung A52, which is quite good. Let's play a little test on the audio so you can hear the performance. Hey, just a side note, if you own Samsung A52 or any phones you see on our channel, we're making more videos of these phones in the future. Please hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this. Next is the camera. You get a generous 4 sensor on the back of the Galaxy A52, but some are more useful than the others. The main camera has 64 megapixel, but by default it takes 12 megapixel picture to keep the image file size smaller. The other main sensors are 12 megapixel ultra-wide shooter and a 5 megapixel macro lens, with the last sensor being a 5 megapixel depth sensor for adding the depth of field effect on portrait shots. The image that comes out of this phone is decent, crushing the blacks a little bit, but in a well-lit situation, feels like any other flagship phone. The difference is just minute. Colors are a little muted too compared to the previous generation Samsung phones. Images are full of details, but sometimes crushing the exposure, which is not my taste. In terms of its video recording, this phone can shoot stunning 4K both front and back, and if you're on a budget, this is a decent vlogging phone. So what is Gadget Rev Now's verdict? Samsung A52 5G after 6 months. This phone is really competitive around $400. Sure, we have a flagship killer like Poco F3, Realme GT Neo 2, and OnePlus 8, but not everyone wants a piece of a Chinese phone, let's be real. Some people has brand loyalty, and if they have $400 to spare, they'll probably be looking at the Samsungs and the iPhones of the world. I will not recommend this to people who badly need the gaming phone that maxes out on the frame rate. This will play heavy games just fine but not class leading. If you also need a great camera phone, I think you're better off Pixel 4a and 5a. And I will recommend this to anyone who wants a familiar Samsung phone with an S21 look, a stunning AMOLED screen that will last you a full day of use. Put a nice case to it and it will feel like a Samsung S21 for me, seriously. An S21 with a headphone jack, but less powerful. Samsung A52 borrowed the looks from the Samsung S21 and directly a smaller version of the more expensive Samsung A72, but still retaining all the key features again for an average Joe with a $400 price tag. Samsung A52 5G is the best value A-series phone right now with the flagship appeal. And I will continue to compare this phone with other phones in our channel, so stay tuned. And as always, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one.